Hello everyone, and I hope you're all well, and welcome to episode 72 of the James Layton Fitness Podcast. Now in today's episode we're going to be discussing supplement scams. So basically this podcast came from a recent video I did. Now I appreciate not all of you are subscribed to my YouTube channel or see all of my YouTube videos. As such, I have decided to create a podcast about these as well, because unfortunately these two supplements in particular are really conning people out of their hard-earned money. Now the reality is there's so many different supplement scams out there that I really could make this an hour episode and list every single one, but I think in this episode I really want to discuss two in particular, which are a fat burner and a natural testosterone booster. I'm going to explain in detail why you should save your money and basically not buy any of these. However, I think the biggest problem for you, the listener, listening to this is unfortunately the marketing is so good these days. The marketing online, people portraying these supplements as these magic bullets, these magic pills which are going to get you ripped and shredded and to have you build lots of muscle to look like people on anabolic steroids, which is just clearly not going to happen. So just realise it's not your fault. However, hopefully this podcast will educate enough to save your money and to not buy any of these, because both of them are a waste of money. Now, as I mentioned, the two supplements I'll be discussing: a natural testosterone booster and a fat burner. So let's firstly start with the natural testosterone booster. Now, unfortunately, this supplement has been portrayed online and in various magazines, etc., as the closest thing to taking anabolic steroids. However, there's a key thing we need to firstly understand when we're looking at this. People that take anabolic steroids basically put their testosterone levels into super physiological ranges. As such, that's why they gain massive amounts of strength, muscle, power, etc., and look significantly different within a short space of time. Natural testosterone boosters, even if they were to increase your testosterone slightly, and from the evidence I see, a lot of them don't really make that much difference at all, you're still going to be within the natural physiological ranges anyway. So by taking a natural testosterone booster, even if you were to increase your natural levels slightly, you're still going to be in the natural physiological ranges of testosterone. Therefore, you're not going to see any dramatic difference in muscle size, strength, appearance, etc., etc. There's going to be no significant difference whatsoever. So therefore, save your money. It's not worth even looking at, because a lot of these are extremely expensive. It'd be much more cost effective just to actually use that money to purchase food, etc., to go towards your gym membership. So in short, because you're still going to be in the natural physiological ranges anyway, there will be no significant improvements in strength, muscle mass, etc. Now let's move on to the fat burner. Now first, let's actually just take a step back and realize what is required to lose body fat. Now, as I've discussed before in many of my other podcast videos, etc., blogs, is a energy deficit is required for fat loss. Therefore, you need to be burning more calories than you're consuming. So for example, if you were to consume a energy surplus and then consume a fat burner, you're not going to lose body fat, you're going to gain body fat. So the key determining factor here isn't the fat burner, it's focus on actually what counts, creating the energy deficit needed for fat loss, not trying to rely on this magic pill, this magic fat burner, which isn't going to do anything. Now, looking at some of the ingredients that are included within a lot of these fat burners, things like green tea, etc., they look at the evidence obviously, and they make no real significant difference to your metabolic rate or to fat loss, even if you were in an energy deficit. As such, likewise with the testosterone boosters, save your money and focus on what actually counts. So, what actually counts with regards to fat loss? Creating the energy deficit needed for fat loss. With regards to the fundamental principles for building muscle, focusing on increasing volume and strength over time, with the caveat you've got an energy surplus and you're consuming sufficient protein. So the real premise of this podcast is twofold. One, to try and save you some money and prevent you from making the mistake in purchasing any of these two supplements, but two is just a reinforcement of what you should be focusing on within a fat loss phase and muscle building phase. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Stop trying to look for this magic solution to get you to your goals without any work at all. You need to focus on the things that actually count, these big broad principles that once you have in place, you'll realize that not a lot of the other things actually matter. There's other things that can be considered once you have these big broad things in place. However, they're still under that hierarchy of importance. So again, fat loss, focusing on the energy deficit; muscle gain, focusing on an energy surplus, focusing on increasing volume and strength over time; consuming sufficient protein for both goals. Focus on what counts rather than looking for a magic pill. So hopefully this has been useful. If you're still yet to download my free ebook, How to Set Up a Nutrition Plan, if you go to jameslayton.fitness.co.uk, you can download that immediately. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll look forward to speaking to you next week. Take care.